one of the hardest questions there is. I would say what the meaning of your life is what you make it. What you think, what you want your life to be. Nobody can decide what you will do except for you. You have control over yourself. You may not be lucky enough and the odds may be against you, but there's never a definite no that you cannot do this. It may be predestined, but you can change that destiny.
Oh, well that's tricky, but it's good to know.
I mean, I might be wrong. It might be just scheduled, like some play or something, and you act it not knowing that you're part of it. But all the same, maybe destiny's just telling you. Maybe you just know it, and that's what destiny is. Destiny is a guess of what you know, what it knows about you, and what it knows you would do. But then again, I might be wrong, and destiny could be totally in control of you.
Well, this idea is a wiffle ball bat.
Okay.
Training up for the season. In my opinion, baseball is one of the things that is the most special in our lives. But the reason that we play sports is very necessary for the entertainment and for the suspense, because we do not have that kind of suspense in our lives. Art and music are another type of a type of art that is, in a way, visible at the same time. Here, you can hear the sense of color in a way in your mind.
So when you listen to music, do you see colors or hear colors?
Sometimes.
Yeah. Like you might listen to a piece of music and you might say that sounds like red.
Yeah.
In a godless universe, I didn't want to go on living. Now, I happen to own this rifle, which I loaded, believe it or not, and pressed it to my forehead. And I remember thinking at the time, I'm going to kill myself. And then I thought, what if I'm wrong? What if there is a God? I mean, after all, nobody really knows that. But then I thought, no. You know, maybe is not good enough. I want certainty or nothing. And I remember very clearly, the clock was ticking, and I was sitting there, frozen, with the gun to my head, debating whether to shoot. All of a sudden, the gun went off. I had been so tense, my finger had squeezed the trigger inadvertently. But I was perspiring so much, the gun had slid off my forehead and missed me. And suddenly, neighbors were pounding on the door, and I don't know, the whole scene was just pandemonium. And, you know, and I ran to the door. I didn't know what to say. You know, I was embarrassed and confused, and my mind was racing a mile a minute. And I just knew one thing. I had to get out of that house. I had to just get out in the fresh air and clear my head. And I remember very clearly, I walked the streets. I walked and I walked. I didn't know what was going through my mind. It all seemed so violent and unreal to me. And I wandered for a long time on the Upper West Side, you know, and it must have been hours. You know, my feet hurt, my head was pounding, and I had to sit down. I went into a movie house. I didn't know what was playing or anything. I just needed a moment to gather my thoughts and be logical and put the world back into rational perspective. And I went upstairs to the balcony. And I sat down, and, you know, the movie was a film that I'd seen many times in my life since I was a kid, and I always loved it. And, you know, I'm watching these people up on the screen, and I started getting hooked on the film, you know? And I started to feel, how can you even think of killing yourself? I mean, isn't it so stupid? I mean, look at all the people up there on the screen, you know? They're real funny, and what if the worst is true? What if there's no God, and you only go around once, and that's it? Well, you know, don't you want to be part of the experience? You know, what the hell, it's not all a drag. And I'm thinking to myself, geez, I should stop ruining my life searching for answers I'm never going to get, and just enjoy it while it lasts. And, you know, after, who knows? I mean, you know, maybe there is something. Nobody really knows. I know maybe is a very slim reed to hang your whole life on, but that's the best we have. And then I started to sit back, and I actually began to enjoy myself.
Oh, Fredonia, cry over me, and the funny round